Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? It is Thursday. Yay! It is September 19th, and actually, technically, this is the day that podcast is supposed to be released. So I think it is. It's just not posted where they said. So I'm going to make an announcement about that. I'll talk about that tomorrow, and I'll probably post the link in the newsletter on Saturday. So moving on, another announcement. Remember the masterclass? Well, that's happening on Tuesday. Look in the group for the registration. I'm going to post that here for you. And the one little hint I'm going to give you is if you come to the call and you stay till the end, you're going to get the overthinking and anxiety toolkit. Now this is for HSPs, and remember I put out a poll a couple months ago asking what free gift you would want when I'm offering a masterclass, and this was the one that got the highest rating. So this is what you're getting. It's actually 70 pages of exercises and things. So I've had some other ebooks like this before, but this one's different. There might be a couple of overlapping tools in there, but there's a lot of like little journaling exercises and little tips and tricks. And like I said, 70 pages worth of things to do in there. I think you're going to like it. So you'll get that when you come and stay till the end of the masterclass. So look for that, the registration in the group. And speaking of overthinking, so I wanted to mention, I've got a list of things I want to tell you. I want to keep this short because I know these have been long. And my tip for you first is I hope you're listening to these when you're doing something else, if you are finding them a little bit lengthy. So far, the feedback I'm getting from the people who are actually sharing like comments privately with me, or they're kind of hearing my indirect ask, like, are these too long? Are you listening to it? Are you hearing me? Is this landing for you? And I really want to make sure that it is landing for you. One of my dogs is just having a fit back there. You can probably hear, so I apologize. So I hope it is landing for you. Feel free to give me feedback. I'd like to hear more about what you want me to talk about, what you'd like to expand more, discover more. I know you're a very smart, intelligent group. And there's some things that you just might not know that you don't know, so it might be hard to ask that question, but something that you do know that you'd like to have more expansion on, and I'd love to go there. So, or any questions that you have about anything, just throw them my way. I'd love to do a Facebook Live for you on it. Now, speaking of overthinking, ever happen to you? Do you ever do that where you get thinking and it gets you all up in a tizzy in your mind? You feel anxiety maybe in your chest or in your body? Or maybe you have that freeze reaction. You can't do anything because you are so stuck in your thoughts and you are overthinking whatever it is you've got going on in your mind. And this is a common thing when we are hypervigilant type people and we are, maybe we're wanting things to be perfect. So what I'm going to say to you is it's totally normal to have this kind of reaction, especially if we have some past issues that are contributing, right? So everyone has past issues about something. But when we're overthinking and it's causing us to go into freeze mode or into chaos in our mind or overwhelm, this is usually the typical response is, what I invite you to try is instead of running away from the feeling, because that's what freezing is. It kind of like freezes us and then we don't know what to do. And maybe we're so consumed with the thought that we're not doing anything else. So what I'd like you to do, instead of reacting to the feeling that's coming in, I'd like you to consider inviting it into, say, the living room of your mind. Imagine that there is a really comfy sofa that you're sitting on, and there's another one a distance away that you invite this feeling to come and sit upon that couch, only with the rules that this feeling comes in and is only able to just be there and speak to you civilly. It has its feelings, so you can imagine the movie, Inside Out, where there's all of the emotions playing a little role in the girl's head. Well, imagine that you have these same kind of emotions, doing their thing. Now you don't have to, I'm thinking of the Lewis Black character, Anger, I think it is, and how he's just, steaming. He's got the little flame that comes up when he gets really mad. And so just imagine whatever the emotion is for you, that this emotion comes in and you're inviting it. And it's like, maybe it just wants to start wreaking havoc with you and it wants to wave its arms around and tell you all these things that are going wrong and how you need to just, don't do this or whatever it's telling you. Maybe it's telling you to do something, or maybe it's telling you not to do something, whatever it's saying. Create this living room of your mind to be the neutral space of your brain, where you are inviting this feeling in to have a seat. And it only can be there to talk with you in a way that's civil. And this is you creating this in your head, right? Now you are imagining this and you might think, well, I can't do that when I'm up in my thought. Well, this is going to take some practice. I want you to try it. I want you to just sit back, take a deep breath and go, okay, if I am in control, I wonder what would happen if I allow this feeling to just be here, not take over, not run the behavior, but be here. Imagine observing it from a distance, taking it out of you and putting it into a character role. Imagine what it would look like. What color, shape, size? Would it have arms and legs? What would it look like? Who would it resemble? Whatever it is, it could be a cartoon, a real person. It could be a real person in your past of your life. Have that person, cartoon, character, icon, whatever it is, avatar, have it sit over there. And I mean over there. It's not touching you. It's not making you do anything. And you are calmly just sitting there having a calm conversation with this feeling and allowing it to be there. And I would like you to take some curious interest into what it has to say. What does it need? What does it want? Why is it here? And these are like 3 top questions that you can ask. And this does not mean you thinking up in your head and going, well, I don't know what it is. Stop. You don't need to know. This is all about curious, judgment-free awareness. And you're just sitting back as if this is in your mind and you've got this other avatar over here with this feeling of, let's just say it is the overwhelm. Overwhelm is sitting over there on the couch and he or she has a problem. You can see it. Is there an expression on this avatar's face, if there is a face? If not, what is it? What is the symbol? Regardless of what it is, imagine that it is able to speak to you in some way, whether it's telepathically or it has a mouthpiece or it really is a being of some sort with a mouth, and it's communicating to you very clearly what's going on. And you are just receiving. You're not fixing anything. You're not doing anything. You're not reacting. You are literally just acting like, say, a neutral party taking information. Like say you're a mediator at a some kind of a hearing and you're just taking the information. You've got your little clipboard and you're like, interesting. So overwhelm. And this is feeling like what? Or you have that you're here. Why? How can I support you? I know this might sound really silly and you might be thinking, Jill, if I am in some chaos in my mind, this is the last thing I want to do. Well, then this is probably the thing that you should do. And I hate to should on you, but this is one of those things that you really need to try. And if it doesn't work the first time, please try again. Because it does. When we allow our mind to run rampant and we allow these feelings to take over, that is what they're doing. We do not want them to jump into our bodies and drive the behavior of the emotional bus, causing us to lose our mind, like literally lose our thoughts, jump out of our body. I know what I used to do when I would have high anxiety is I would float up out of my body and I couldn't feel anything. And then I couldn't get my words and I couldn't speak. And if I did, it was probably kind of gibberishy or very nervous, very breathy because I felt just not here. And I remember feeling all kinds of anxiety, like almost just like I was floating. It just felt very, very weird. And it's been a long time since I've had that feeling, but I do remember it. Now I have the tool to invite it in. And yes, I do this. Yes, I ask. Yes, I sit down. You might even really want to have a notebook available to capture the thoughts that come through. And this doesn't have to take long. It doesn't have to be more than a few minutes of just, sitting down. But you might find that as you're doing this and attempting to question the feeling there of what its whereabouts are, or why it's there, what its intention is, because let's just imagine that every feeling that you have has a positive intention. It does. It's there to support you in some way, even though you might think overwhelmed, that has no use for me. Well, it probably does. Imagine if you are in some situation where if you were to continue to go, you might deplete all your resources to the point where you are just completely sick. And overwhelm at least gives you a pause to just stop, freeze, whatever. Oh, can't do anymore. Well, that's kind of a safety mechanism, isn't it? However, it's not a tool or a coping strategy that we want to use all the time. So what happens is these feelings and emotions, when they cause our behaviors to exhibit like this or express when we're feeling a certain way, it becomes a habit. And then it's running on autopilot, and it's literally in our subconscious mind, and it's like, I know what to do in this situation. I know what to do in this situation, and it takes over. Well, what you want to do is take control. And the way you start doing that is first acknowledging first you got to recognize that it's happening, right? You've got to recognize. That's the awareness piece. Okay, I think I might be in overwhelm. I'm noticing it. Okay, great. Take a breath. Oh, it's okay. Okay, overwhelm. Am I dying right now? No. It might feel like it, especially if you're about to have a panic attack. Don't talk yourself into it. Just notice. Just notice. Do some breathing. Allow your body to know that you are safe. That's a great biofeedback tool. When you can slow your breathing down and do like that 4-4-7 breathing. You breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for longer of 7 counts. Do this a few times to give your body the wisdom that I am safe. Because if you are literally running away from a mountain lion and you are in fight-flight mode, then you are, we don't want to do that. That gives the body, the nervous system, the triggers of like, oh, something's wrong. We got to shut some things down. We don't need to digest. We don't need to do this. We need to do this instead. We need to, all systems go to 911 emergency, right? We don't want that. And that's what sometimes we do. And it's a habit. So back to the living room of your mind. Where can you do this for yourself? I want you to practice it even just now. Like notice an emotion that you know that you commonly have. And maybe something that you felt, say, this morning that bothered you, or yesterday, or sometime this week. And imagine that you could invite it over to have a cup of tea with you, and it comes to the door, and you let it in, you tell it the ground rules, and you're like, okay, have a seat. And then you can kindly ask it to leave if it starts to get out of control, because you are the one literally in control. You may not feel like it right now, but this is a practice. This is a skill. It is a skill to do this, and you are very skilled. Probably, if you are resonating with this, if you are in the feeling of overwhelm often, or you notice it and you recognize it, that is a skill as well. I want you to recognize that. You have lots of skills. Some of them are very useful at certain times, but not all the time, right? So we want to break those habits and move into something that's more productive for us and more peaceful. We don't want to be chaos in our mind. We don't want to have fight or flight going in our mind all the time, especially when we get stressed. So the living room of your mind, practice this tool. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. Let me know. And if you're having trouble with it, private message me. We can get on a quick call and I can help you with it. So have fun with this. Don't take it too seriously. Don't stress out if it's not working right away. Just give it some time and allow yourself to get this communication going between you and your feelings, because sometimes we have been running away from them and we are not used to being still and literally just saying, okay, what's going on here? And see if we can find peace in this situation. Okay, so I have faith in you. I believe in you. I will come back and talk with you more tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.